What's good? So I got an email. And this emailer says, "Hey, Mr. Locario, there's something really bugging me that women I come into contact with seem to habitually do. Whenever the topic of dating requirements or what they look for in a man comes up in conversation, they always say they look for a guy who is funny, smart, loyal, and respectful. However, when I analyze the type of men that they seem to be drawn towards, these men are the complete opposite from what these women say they want. Women will say race doesn't matter, looks doesn't matter, etc., but I will see how on their social media accounts they will post memes talking about how they want a guy who is above 6 feet tall, or a meme talking about how they want a guy with muscles or tattoos. In my experience, it seems like women have a criteria for the type of men they are initially attracted to, and it typically has nothing to do with the personality of the man. Women seem to choose a man based off of him being a certain race, having certain physical attributes, and having a certain level of social status. They have a criteria set in place, but it's like they don't even want to own up to it. I do know there seems to be a universal criteria of attraction. In my experience, I have noticed that guys who are muscular, tall, have tattoos, beards, or some form of social status seem to always do well with women in the long haul. I cannot say the same thing for guys who happen to be funny, smart, loyal, or respectful alone with any of these physical qualities. I don't understand why women can't just keep it 100. All right. So basically, when it comes to women and, attracting women, and, a lot of guys, they email me, they say, yo, it's all about looks and women want a guy with money and status and blah, 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 right? Now, the thing you have to understand about women is this, is that women do not know what they want, right? So it's a big waste of your time paying attention to what they say they want. It's a big waste of your time asking them, you probably ask your female friends or women around your way or at your job or whoever it is, you probably ask them, oh, what do you guys like in men? And you're trying to get information. But women don't know what the hell they want, right? They're going to tell you what they think they want, but they're not going to tell you what they respond to, because they don't even know what they respond to. Right? Because when a woman is attracted to a man, she's feeling a certain thing, and she doesn't know what he's doing to make her feel that. She just knows she feels it. Do you understand? But she can't explain to you. She can't express it in words to say, oh, this is what he's doing. You feel what I'm saying? So sort of, you sort of trying to like figure that out. You're just sort of wasting your time, because a lot of times, there are going to be certain things that women are going to be attracted to when it comes to guys, dealing with them. And sometimes, the certain things that they're attracted to doesn't, it's not really something that's can be seen as positive in certain situations. You understand? So the thing is, even if a woman is aware that she is attracted to some guy because, let's say, he's an asshole or something, and, the reason why she's chasing him is because she's insecure and she wants his approval or whatever it is, right? She's not going to technically say that, because it's going to make her look bad. So when you're trying to get information about, what she likes, of course she's going to say, oh, I want a guy who's funny, who's smart, who's loyal, who's respectful, all that other stuff. You see what I'm saying? Because they're not going to explain to you, even if they're aware of it, that, oh, well, I really notice I always chase guys who are, being assholes to me. Then it's not going to say that. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's not going to make them look good, right? And the thing is, you got to understand is what women say they want and what they respond to is two totally different things. So women will say, oh, I want a guy who's going to be respectful and nice to me. And then she ends up with the bad boy. You understand? And the reason, again, why that is because she is responding to that behavior. She doesn't understand why she does, but it just happens. She gets that feeling. You feel what I'm saying? And the thing with women, also is that you can't really take too much, you can't take what they're saying seriously a lot, because a lot of times women will say things based off of how they're literally feeling in that moment. You understand? So a woman might be, into some dude right now because of A, B, and C. And then next week, she's not into him anymore. She's into some other guy. And then the week after that, she's into the first guy again for some other reason. You understand? Like, it's just, they're just all over the place, right? Now, one thing I wanted to point out in your email is, and a lot of you guys do this, and you definitely need to stop doing this, because this is something that tricks you, and you sort of use this as an excuse, because you were saying that in my experience, it seems like women have a criteria for a certain type of men that they're initially attracted to, and you were saying that you see women with guys who are muscular, who are tall, who have tattoos, and blah, 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 right? So you're basically saying, like, these women say they want this, but I always see women with these tall, muscular guys, right? So yeah, it's all about looks and blah, 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 right? So what you guys are doing when you're saying this, right? You are basically looking for evidence to prove yourself right. So what that means is, if you're the type of guy who believes that, oh, it's all about looks, what's going to happen is that when you're outside in your everyday life or whatever, you're going to be seeing girls you want to talk to, and you're going to be like, oh, she's hot, but she's not going to want me because I don't look good, right? And then you're going to, for some reason, you're going to walk past some dude who's a good looking dude who is with a girl, and your first immediate thought is, oh, damn, he got her because he looks good. See, it's all about looks. See, it's all about looks. Right? And you're going to see another guy who is good looking, and you're going to see him with a girl, and you're going to be like, see, another guy got a girl because he looks good. It's all about looks and blah, blah, blah. Right? But what happened is that that's the thing that's going on in your mind. So that's the only thing you focused on, right? You saw those two good looking guys with women. So you're thinking it's all about looks, and you weren't paying attention to all the average to the below average looking guys who also had girls who passed you. You understand? Because you weren't paying attention to that. All you're paying attention to is trying to find, situations that validate what you believe, so that you can, have that excuse for yourself. Because the funny part is this: is that, let's take this whole situation of, oh, it's all about good-looking guys and blah blah blah. If let's talk about like what, the standard, quote unquote, the standard of beauty is, because the thing is, looks are subjective. What good looks good to one person doesn't look good to the other person, and all that other stuff, right? But when let's say we take the quote unquote standards of beauty for a dude, and you say, okay, he's a tall guy, he has a symmetrical face, he's fit, and whatever. So let's say that's the good looking guy, right? The thing is that only about 10%, maybe 8 to 10% of the male population looks like that guy, that type of guy who is quote unquote good looking. So you have 90% of guys who are average to below average, if we're going to, going by the, the standards of beauty type shit, right? So the thing is, even on when we do on a mathematical scale, it's impossible, right, for, these 10% of good looking guys to get all the girls. It's just not going to happen, right? Because you have the other 90% of guys. That would mean that there's 90% of men who aren't getting any women, right? Which we know that's not true. Because that would mean the 10% of guys are getting the 100% of women. That would mean 10% of the men in the world who are the quote unquote good looking dudes are getting with 100% of the women. It's ridiculous, right? So this is what I'm trying to say, is that you're looking for that, those things because you have that in your mind already, right? So when you're saying, oh, I noticed that these women are saying they want this and want that and want that, right? It's because you're taking what they say they want, and you're looking for evidence of that to prove yourself right, so that this can be the thing that you're seeing. You understand? And you were saying that women have a criteria for the type of men they initially attracted to, and it typically has nothing to do with personality, the personality of the man. And again, that's not true. Do you understand? You got to understand something with women. And, I was saying this earlier, is that women respond to the feeling. Basically, this is what women are attracted to, because this is it in a nutshell. Women respond to men who create a situation for an emotional connection. That's the easiest way I can say it to you. Women respond to men who create a situation for an emotional connection. So what that means is that when this woman is interacting with this man, she gets a feeling from that man, whoever that man is, that makes her like him. Now, that man could be a tall, muscular guy with tattoos, or it could be an average looking regular dude, right? But it comes from the feeling she gets when she's around him, right? So when you're saying it has nothing to do with personality, it has everything to do with the personality. The part that you don't understand is you see this good looking guy with a woman and you think the only reason she's with him is because he's good looking, but you don't know the stuff that he's doing to keep her interested. You don't know the stuff he's saying to her. You don't know the stuff that he is, doing and saying to keep that going. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that a woman will see a guy who's attractive and be attracted to him, but the thing is, that's not all it is. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, a woman could be attracted to a guy and the guy makes her feel nothing, and that's going to make her not want to get with him. A woman could be not that physically attracted to a guy, then the guy makes her feel something, and then she'll end up being with him. This is why you'll have those 90% of guys who are, first of all, it's just so many, 90% is a big number. And then you have, a whole bunch of women who those guys can get with. You understand what I'm saying? So that's one thing. But also you'll also see a whole bunch of average guys with women. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's not that the average guys are only getting with the average to below average women. No, there's average looking dudes, quote unquote, average looking dudes who will get with the quote unquote hot women out there. You understand? There's good looking guys who will actually get with average looking women. Just because a guy's good looking doesn't necessarily mean he's going to get a hot chick. You understand? And this is where game actually levels the freaking playing field. But it sucks because a lot of guys don't get this, and you confuse yourself because you are listening to what women say. But women don't know what they want. And the reason why women don't know what they want is because they usually, in most cases, have to feel the connection. They have to feel out the situation in order to figure out if they want it. This is why women say, "Oh, I want to get to know him. I need to, I got to take it slow so I could figure things out," because they actually need to get to that point where they're actually feeling that guy. Right? Now, sometimes a woman might meet a dude. She's going to, she's attracted to him, and, she'll have a one night stand with him or whatever. And a lot of guys think that, that has to do with just looks. You understand? Like, oh, she thought he was really hot. That's why she did him. Right? Now, in a lot of cases, if she did do that because she thought he was hot, that's still a feeling that she's getting from being around him, because a lot of times where, when it comes to how women are feeling, it's not really even the man technically doing anything. It's how she's responding to that man in her presence. So she might see a guy, and let's say he's a good looking dude, and she thinks he's cute, right? And so what happens is that she feels good about herself that she is with this cute guy. You understand? So again, she feels good about herself that she's with this cute guy, right? And the same thing applies for when a guy, is talking to a woman and he makes her feel safe. He makes her feel important. He makes her feel sexy and all this other stuff. She feels that way based off of, her interaction with him. You understand what I'm saying? So it still all goes, towards the feeling. So sometimes when you see the guy who's this tall guy, who's the good looking dude, I'm sticking to this point of the whole good looking dude for you guys to understand something, is that when you see that guy with her, 9 times out of 10, it has to do with the fact that he made her feel something beyond just, her ego as far as, the looks go. Because truth be told, a lot of women, they don't like necessarily need for the guy to look good, because him looking good doesn't technically do anything for her ego. In most cases, for us, it's different. We see a hot chick, oh, we feel like the man because we was able to get this hot chick's number and smash, right? Women, on the other hand, right, a guy's looks, that's cool, that's like icing on the cake, but what does it do for her? And a lot of times, in a lot of cases, it'll make her feel insecure because she's with a actually good looking guy. You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of times when these women are with these good looking dudes, or they stay with them, or whatever it is, it has more to do with the personality, because the personality made her feel something. Do you understand what I'm saying? So a lot of it has to do with the feeling. Again, women respond to men who create a situation for an emotional connection. You understand? So the thing is, what you guys got to, get out of your head is, listening to women saying, oh, well, I want a guy who's funny, smart, and loyal and respectful, because, again, they're saying this because they're supposed to say that. They can't come out and say, I want a guy who's going to treat me like a fucking cum dumpster, and, and just treat me like crap, so that I can try to chase him because I'm so insecure, and I don't have any self-respect. So this is why I'm chasing after this bad boy. You understand? And a lot of women who are insecure, they do that type of shit. That's what they respond to. You understand? So, the thing is that, and you were saying that, I'm trying to get to a lot of the points in your thing, because you were saying that, women will put up like memes of, guys who are 6 feet tall, and how they want a guy with muscles and tattoos. And again, they're putting up that shit because they feel like that they're supposed to, sort of like go for that type of shit, because they're conditioned like the rest of us, like everybody. They're conditioned just like, remember that dude, what's the guy's name? The guy who was he got arrested, and he had the picture, Jeremy Meeks. You remember that dude, Jeremy Meeks, the light-skinned dude? And they had his mugshot up, and all the girls was like, oh my God, he's so hot. Oh my God, I would, do this and do that to him. Oh my God, he's so awesome. Oh my God, blah, 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 whatever, right? Now, again, they're conditioned to do that because these women have been brought up in a society that they watch Cinderella, Snow White, all that other goofy shit, right? And it gives them that feeling of being a woman in that situation, of being the woman who's going to be whisked away by the handsome prince on the fucking horse and ride into the sunset. It's all a feeling. Guys, you got to, man, listen, if you understand about how important feelings is, I even explained this in my book, How to Have Sex with Two Women a Day, right? And the thing is that how she feels, right, is going to dictate her attraction for you, right? Because you see, the thing is, you get confused. You think, oh, because they see this Jeremy Meeks guy and his profile, and they're saying all this shit like, oh, I would do this and I would do that to him, and he's so hot, and oh, I would have all this sex with this guy, blah blah blah. Yeah, they're saying that because they're having those feelings and all that other stuff. But the thing is, any dude who's actually put himself out there, good looking or not, or whoever, any guy, it could be good looking guy, it could be not good looking guy, whatever it is. Because, I coach a lot of dudes. I have a lot of friends in the game where we go out, we talk, and we make these things happen. And, there's a couple of dudes that I roll with who are good looking. I remember when I was modeling with Polo Jeans, I had friends who I was modeling with who were models who were good looking dudes, right? And then I had friends who were, average to below average looking or whatever it is. And it's the same shit. And what I'm trying to say here is that chicks what happens is that they will say one thing and then they will do another. They will be about to want to fuck you. You're thinking you're about to have some sex. She's all about it. And then all of a sudden she changes her mind, right? Because again, like I said earlier, women are about how they feel in the moment. So 1 minute they're like, oh my God, you're so hot, I want to do you. And then you get to her house and now she changes her mind. Or she gets to your house and now has a change of heart. Oh, I don't think we should do this anymore because blah, 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 blah. So when these ladies see that dude mugshot on there, the Jeremy Meeks guy, and they're like, oh my God, he's so hot, I would do this, I would do that. And I said this in another video, all they're doing is talking shit. Because when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, most of them aren't going to do what they said they were going to do. Right? So again, women do not know what they want. What women say they want and what they respond to is two totally different things. Right? And again, women respond to men who create a situation for an emotional connection. Right? That's the easiest thing. So this is what I'm saying. Don't listen to what they're saying to you. Don't even ask women what they want, because they can't tell you. They don't know. You understand? They don't know. And the thing is, you're sitting there wasting your time. All you need to know is that what women are actually going to respond to, what women are going to be attracted to, is that feeling. That's what they're attracted to, that feeling. But see, your male brain, you think women think exactly like you. So you think, oh, well, I want a really hot chick. So that means a woman wants a hot guy. And that's the end of it. Right? Like, most of you guys would have sex with Kim Kardashian or Beyonce if they were working at McDonald's. You feel what I'm saying? But the thing is, most chicks wouldn't have sex with Jay-Z if he was working at McDonald's. And most chicks probably wouldn't even have sex with Brad Pitt if he was working at McDonald's. You feel what I'm saying? So the thing is, it's a whole different fucking thing. But if Jay-Z and Brad Pitt working at McDonald's knew how to talk to chicks, knew how to get them feeling whatever they need to feel, then these chicks will be attracted to them. See, the fucking game levels the goddamn playing field. You understand? You have to understand this. This is why you have guys who have a whole bunch of money, who still can't get girls because the game is weak. Their game is weak. You have good looking guys, and I see this all the time. I know a lot of these guys personally who have a hard time getting girls. Why? Because their game is weak. So the thing is, you see these guys out here, and again, like I was saying earlier, you see these good looking guys with girls, and you latch on to seeing that because that's the narrative that you have in your mind, and it's confirming what you want to see. You understand? But at the end of the day, you need to understand what, women are really attracted to. And then what you need to do is figure out how you can do what you need to do to get these women to, fuck with you to the best of your ability. Right? So again, women respond to men who create a situation for an emotional connection. And the way you create that emotional connection is you need to know how to talk to women. You need to know how to get women interested in continuing to talk to you, to see you, to have sex with you, all those different things. You feel what I'm saying? And that comes from you studying the game. It always comes back to this. I don't know what to tell you. You understand? This is where it comes back to. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And make sure if you want to step up your game go to badboymembership.com right now. All right. If you guys have any questions, make sure you click the link below to send me a question. And I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. Now, before you turn off this video, I want you to do 3 quick things. 1, I want you to click the link below so you can send me a question and I'll do a video on it. 2, I want you to click the link under that to get my free audio program, Undeniable Game, which gives you 7 tips on how to really attract beautiful women. And number 3, I want you to click the link under that to go to badboymembership.com, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy Membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy-to-follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy Membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.